It took just 20 minutes, an entire building lost in flames. But one person warned this could happen. When you saw the fire here, were you surprised to see that building on fire?
No. No, absolutely not. I mean, I was expecting it. I was expecting it long before now.
Sheila Majid lived on the Hampton estate for 7 years. Like Richmond House that burnt down, her home was built by the developer St James.
The floor has been covered with latex.
This home video shows the property they bought in 2005, but they soon had concerns about its timber construction.
We had 2 reports commissioned and both of them said that my home lacked fire safety regulations.
One of the surveys on her property, seen by ITV News, shows it didn't have the required 60-minute fire resistance and lacked essential fireproofing required in a timber construction. How many times did you raise fire safety concerns with the developer St James?
Innumerable times. Our concern was that other homes as well might have had the same sort of problems, and we asked St James to please investigate.
Sheila became a one-woman campaigner, holding a banner that now has a chilling foresight. She accused the building developer of not having met fire regulations. You knew your own home was not fire safe,
yes.
And you had concerns about all the other buildings on the estate.
Yes. If you build something and you know you've got a problem, you need to check. You need to make sure that maybe the other units don't have that problem.
While she was campaigning about fire regulations, round the corner from her home, the developer St James was building Richmond House. So do you think St James have been negligent?
Yes, from my own experience and the way they behaved, I have every inkling to believe that they were to blame. And that's the very thing I campaigned against when I was here. We
put this claim to a survivor of the fire. Dean Fowler had just bought his flat on the top floor 3 weeks ago. What's your reaction to hear this allegation that St James Homes knew about this?
It just makes me feel sick, if I'm honest with you, because now look what's happened. Like I've lost my home. A lot of people have lost their home, but like we're alive. I get that, but they should have done something about it, you know, because there's plenty more buildings here, and yeah, I just feel sick, mate. It angers me.
We spoke to a fire safety expert about the speed of the fire spread. Do you think Richmond House should have been more fire resistant than it was?
Well, it's required under the current building standards and at the time of construction to have 60 minutes fire resistance and life support. Why did it fail in 20 minutes?
Are you surprised there were so many failings in this previous construction?
Absolutely not. We're seeing far too many instances and frequency of these total fire losses in timber frame.
In response to Sheila Majid's claims, the developer St James said her home and Richmond House were built at different times. In a statement, they said, "We went to great lengths to resolve the dispute with this customer at the time. Records from the time show that the fire safety protection in the other units was installed correctly in accordance with building regulations." But there's one haunting question tonight. Should more people have taken notice of this lone campaigner for better fire regulations?
Rags, do you get the feeling that safety regulations where fire is concerned has been taken more seriously now?
Well, it's important to remember that this fire is just 2 days old and there's a fire investigation going on and the cause is as yet unknown. But once again, we have echoes of Grenfell there. There were also warnings of fire safety. One of the residents, Eddie Defan, wrote a blog 6 months before 72 people died, warning of safety issues in the tower. And this is what the campaign group Grenfell United is campaigning for residents who live in properties to be listened to, whether that's from the council or the property developer. But always, once and again, we always get fire safety experts always saying the same thing. It's the building regulations which are not fit for purpose. And ultimately, it's the government who's responsible. And once again, we asked to speak to the new housing secretary, and once again, he was not available.